Why do these girls jump higher than you? That's what we're looking at today. You're looking at 3 girls that have hit over 30 inches in a vertical jump. I used a very simple training method to help get their numbers up. I'm Chris Korfist. I own Slow Guy Speed School, which is a training facility outside Chicago. I'm co-owner of Track Football Consortium. I co-own Reflexive Performance Reset, and I am an advisor at SPRINS, which is the Auckland University of Technology Sports Performance Research Institute in New Zealand. I've also been a high school coach for 30 years and have kind of boiled the vertical jump down to this method. Regardless of where you go, men or women, you get some pretty big vertical jumps by applying this technique. Those are all 40-inch vertical jumps for guys, and I equate 30 inches for girls with 40 for boys. And this is the biggest problem I see. People can't get to their vertical jump heights that they need because when they jump, they hoist with their back. So if we're looking at this still, we see an individual who has a shin at a certain angle, and this is right about as he's about to push, and his spine is at a different angle. And as we take him through to the next big jump is about when he's about to actually push with his legs. His torso is almost vertical before his legs have done anything. So really, his jump is mostly coming from his extension of his spinal muscles to hoist his body into the ground. And at this position, his legs finally kick in after it's created a lot of momentum, which means I think best case scenario, the best hoisters I've seen can maybe get a 25 or 26 inch vertical jump. And again, he's still pushing at this point. His shins haven't changed and his arms are almost completely over his head. So what is this going to look like? What do we want this to look like? I'm going to have to go through change some programs here, but here's a really good female jumper. She is fully loaded and she's completely taken the loading aspect out of it. And so when she goes to jump, you'll see as she comes up, as her spine extends, her legs extend. So she keeps this parallel relationship throughout the entire movement. And that's a pretty good vertical jump. Same thing, this athlete has a shorter loading phase, but she loads, rocks forward, and this is great to see that not only does she get extension with her shins and spine, but she also rolls her hips. So now she's getting hip drive rather than a spinal drive. In fact, you can watch her spine tighten and co-contract to give her this push. And she's a traditional 30-inch jumper. And we can look at a lot of different girls with their jumps, and it's going to be the same. They catch to a point and their shins and spine straighten at the same time. So it's a timing issue. And you can talk about technique and you can cheat the just jump. The just jump is kind of the standard for what you can do and who uses it. Even with a big guy, you're going to see as he comes up, you can see from the back his legs are straightening as his torso comes up. And that's a 40.5. So how do we train this? I called it an ankle rocker jump. You can start really shallow, but we're just going to get into a shallow phase and put hands on hips so you learn to not drive with your arms. We'll get back to that later. But she's going to rock forward and drive her hips up and in and work on straightening her legs as her torso comes up. A good jump for that's going to be probably 70% of what your vertical is. So these ankle rocker jumps can be very effective in training not only timing, but learning how to drive with your legs rather than your back in your jump. So here she is, she's loaded up, rolls forward. You can see her hip drive forward and her legs straighten as she comes up. Again, I think that was about a 25-inch vertical jump there. So try shortening up your jump, eliminate your back, learn to drive from your legs, and you're going to get a much bigger bang for your buck out of your vertical jump.